And he's saying at that time, there was glory associated on the mountain, the giving of the law. Moses comes out. There's glory associated with that, but it's a diminishing, it's a fading glory. What is he liken it to?
How will the ministry of the Spirit fail to be even more with glory? For if the ministry of condemnation has glory, much more does the ministry of righteousness abound in glory. For indeed, what had glory, in this case has no glory, because of the glory that surpasses it.
Do you see how he's comparing the glories of the old and the new, and what was, and it was just like a demonstration. It was just like a picture of what we've got now when we have the Spirit of God. And that is not fading away. If anything, it's going to get stronger, and it's going to get bigger and more glorious, and lightning is going to fly.
For if that which fades was with glory, much more that which remains is in glory. Therefore, having such a hope, we use great boldness in our speech, and are not like Moses, who used to put a veil over his face so that the sons of Israel would not look intently at the end of what was fading away. But their minds were hardened, for until this very day, at the reading of the Old Covenant, the same veil remains unlifted, because it is removed in Christ. But to this day, whenever Moses is read, a veil lies over their heart. But whenever a person turns to the Lord, the veil is taken away. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. But we all, with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as from the Lord the Spirit.
He just said something that's really, really outrageous. First, he says, looking in a mirror. When you look in a mirror, you get a reflection. So, he's talking about looking in a mirror, but by the time he ends the sentence, he's talking about being transformed into the image. We've heard this so many times, because we've been around the church forever, that we are a reflection of Jesus Christ on this earth. And it sounds really good. That's not what Paul's saying. The same glory that Jesus prayed about. I have given them my glory. I mean, how much clearer can that be? I have given them my glory. That's more than being a reflection. If you're filled with the glory of the Lord, the glory of this latter house shall be greater than the former. If we're filled with the glory of the Lord, if we're filled with the Spirit of God and the glory of the Lord, that is not a matter of a reflection anymore. We're not reflecting. We're not putting oil on our faces and reflecting something, looking up into the sun. From within, what Moses prayed, what we said we want to be filled with the Spirit, we want to be possessed. He's describing something from inward out, not outward, looking at a reflection. He starts with the mirror, because you got to start someplace. You start with the mirror, but then what happens as you behold the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ, as you're beholding, you get filled with the glory. Now that should change the way we think a lot about going into a conference and everybody, fill me with the Spirit. They can do that. You can do it in your living room. I want to be filled. That's great. And I'm not discrediting that. But Paul's describing something else. He's describing, show me your glory. I want to know you. I want to know your face. I want to know you more. And as a result, being filled. Not even asking to be filled. Just being filled because you're in the presence of God. When it talks about in Revelation, it's really weird. The way it talks about the New Jerusalem, the bride is coming down. She's been prepared. She's been prepared. God is preparing her. Thank you very much. But in Revelation 19, when he's talking about the wedding banquet, he says the bride has made herself ready. There's both. There's a matter of what does the bride do? She gets closer and closer and closer and closer. And she's driven by one thing, him and him alone. I don't need the hand. I know your hand is always available with whatever I need. I don't have to think about that. What I need to do is have a craving for your face. I need to have a jealousy for you like you have for me. Because that place right there is where we are transformed, is what Paul's talking about. It's through that craving and the seeking of God. At the bottom here, all I wrote as a conclusion is refreshed souls, restored righteousness, removal of separation. In Exodus 32, they get the system that they wanted. They got the golden calf from Egypt, the way of the world. Their own worship, this is the way I worship, okay, God bless you. And the golden calf was already being formed in their hearts before it came out. Do you remember when Aaron says to Moses, we threw the gold in and a golden calf came out? That's the way he words it, and it's exactly what he says. We threw the gold in and a golden calf came out. That's because it was already there. See what comes out of the heart? It's already there in the heart. When it comes out here, this was not about separating themselves from God, but joining with another God, committing adultery, another glory, which God is very serious about. He has a jealous love for us. Moses is the one who entered the dark cloud. He seeks the face, sees the form, and the veil is removed. The glory is imparted. He lets the passing glory of the Lord pass by and embraces the glory of the Lord. Paul says, becoming the same image from glory to glory as we are today by the Spirit of the Lord. Do you remember when Jesus walks on water and comes to them in the night? In Mark's rendition it says he would have passed by, but it says they cried out and he got in. They cried out, he got in. Something has passed by, the old glory, all of that. And the truth is, something can and will pass by again if we don't cry out, if we don't seek him. And if we don't want him, he will pass by. That's fine. But what we're left with is something so far short from what he has for his bride, for his wife. How often is he in our midst in a different way, in a greater way than we've known before? And we don't even know it.